Hi guys, welcome back to Nichful Thinking. My name is Nichelle, Ohshells on all social media, and this is a podcast all about what I be thinking, child. Over here, we care about self-development, a little bit of pop culture, and realistically, whatever has come to mind for the week ahead. Okay, so how y'all doing? I'm feeling really, really good. Actually, I don't know. You'll hear me touch on this in different episodes, like these 3 months are the months to make sure that you collect your bricks, you're treating yourself well, you're moving slowly, especially with everything that's happening right now in this country. I live here in the United States, the divided states of America. First things first, happy Black History Month. Okay, I'm very, very happy to be able to say that I am Black. I love being Black. And Black History Month is in its 100th year of celebration, like 100 years of celebrating Black impact, our history, our culture, what makes the whole world lit, essentially. I think the UK celebrates Black History Month in October. I only know that because my time in HR, working with global companies, that's a part of that was a part of some of our celebrations when DEI was actually a thing or was trying to become a thing in corporate. That's another episode for another day, honey. Today we're going to talk about how time is stretchy. Nichelle's been thinking about time being extremely stretchy. If you, yes, you, are someone that finds themselves scrolling, you blink and 4 hours went by, or if you, yes, you, find yourself, you go to sleep, right? And depending on what time you go to sleep, you wake up and it feels like you took the worst nap of your life. If you, yes, you, had an experience recently and you're like, OMG, time just flew by. Let's talk about that. I don't think enough of us are really deep in the concept of time. Time is stretchy and it's great to be Black. All right, let's get into the episode. The basic definition of time, because I love looking things up. Whenever I think about a concept or something, I'm Googling it. Like, what that mean? What does the world say it means? You know, whoever Webster was, like, what do it mean? So the definition goes as follows. Time is the continuous, irreversible progression of events from the past through the present and into the future. Okay, when you go ahead and Google, it also talks about Einstein's definition of time. So let's read that next. Time isn't absolute, but it is relative, interwoven with space into space-time, and its flow depends on an observer's motion and gravity. For example, astronauts, if you have a twin, your twin here on Earth is going to be aging differently than the twin that is up in space. And when he talks about time space, I believe he's talking about this space, like literally time, like how time moves in space. So he's like, it depends on what's happening here on Earth in space, the motion and the gravitational pull of that observer or of that thing or of that person. Now, in my thoughts, right, they start to spring off and I'm like running into different thoughts. And I remember in college, I studied women and gender studies as my minor. And one of the authors that we dove into was Audre Lorde. Audre Lorde is known to have talked about intersectionality, has known been talking about identity. We're going to dive a little bit more into Audre Lorde and her way of thinking and different body of works that she's done and blessed us here on earth with. I did want to know how Audre Lorde thought about time as well, because we could think about it from the basic definition or from a scientific standpoint, but I'm really, really more interested in like the sociology behind it of like how our right, kinfolk, how our thought leaders thought about these things, and urgency kept coming up. Audre Lorde not only being an author, but also an activist, right? And so I was thinking, I'm like, there's always this like the tortoise and the hare kind of standpoint when it comes to urgency of time. But I like the way that Audre Lorde thought about it because she's like, basically, being Black in America, the time is now. The all we have is now was essentially her thought process. And that rings true, especially right now, right? Action in being someone that's not procrastinating on their thoughts, on the way that they see themselves impacting the world around them. Like the concept of time is way more complex. And again, it could be nicheful thinking, but I know for a fact other people are thinking about the time currency that they have right now, right here in similar ways. So yes, from an activist standpoint, just from a person standpoint, all we have is now. We can think about it as a literal like past, present, future. However, what does past mean and what does future mean? I made a video or episode rather, like maybe last year sometime, and essentially the past is the time before the now and future is the time after the now. So when you say something, do something, write something, It is the time that it is what is measured that happened before that thing or after that thing. And for these 3 months, I've been really honing in on my time currency and being very intentional about how I'm using my time. That does not mean that I am like super productive and I'm like using every little bit of time for X, Y. No, 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 no. Like, don't get it twisted. I definitely have moments where I'm like, for the next 2 hours, I'm not doing nothing that I said I was gonna do. And I have to really sit in that and I really have to think about what is going on here. Like I said in past videos, there are people who are literally like, up, it's time to go, or up, it's time to do this thing, or up. As someone who knows like entrepreneurship and or just working for myself is super important to me. Like my goal in life is to literally be paid based off of the things that me and my community are able to create together. Like the traditional way of thinking is just not my vibe. Even when I block out time in my work schedule today, I'm still in the HR field. I still work in the world of HR. But even when I block out my time, I find myself having these moments of like, oh, I know I said I was going to do that at 1, but it feels better to do it at 2. Like I start to ebb and flow between this is what I said I was going to do, so let me just do it. And then but does it feel like it's aligned? Like, you know what I mean? And that's when time starts getting stretchy. That's when time starts either speeding up or slowing down. Today was a good day. Today was a great example of the balance of the two. At the top of the morning, I woke up at the time that I said I was going to wake up and I chilled. For me, I don't like pouncing out of the bed. It just disturbs my peace. I want to just be laying there reflecting. I might look at an email. I might review like, oh, what content do I got going on? I'm gonna talk to God. Sometimes I'll even like read my book in the morning, like just to get a nice little story going. Like, I don't know, like in the beginning, in the I like slow mornings. I don't like my daytimes to feel fast, quick, and in a hurry. If there is a project, a thing that I am called to do or need to make sure that I am available to do, sure. Like there's times when that makes sense. But when I'm in control, like the crack of ass, I'm not really trying to move too much. I'm trying to chill. Even a nice walk, you know, like I've done that. I want to say in the fall, I was doing that. Anyway, spruce my hair up, put some makeup on, like make sure you brush your teeth, get your tea or your coffee, like, and then there is a set time. And for me, it's around like that 8 to 9 a.m. That 9 a.m. ish. I'm like from 9 until 11:30 is the juiciest piece. That's when time for me starts speeding up. It's like, oh God, oh God. It can speed up if you don't have a to-do list. It can speed up if you're doing something and you're not really in a flow state while doing it. You're almost stop and go, being distracted, etc., etc. Girl, let's hop off of today, just in general. Back to the scrolling of it all. Like, I don't know about you, time speeds up. When I get on them apps and I'm just scrolling, I'll be like, after a while, you're kind of like, I'm not even interested in what I'm looking. I'm not even really looking at what I'm looking at right now. I am literally in a flow state of wasting my time. Like it starts off being like, oh, cool. Like what's happening? What's new? What are people creating and producing? Like I like to consume content. I like to consume bodies of work. So I might have like a YouTube video on, or maybe have a podcast I'm listening to, or have like a new album that just dropped. I'm like, all right, cool. Let me just let this go on in the background. But I find the moment when it stops becoming productive for me, my like signal for that is when it starts getting flat. It starts getting like the mechanics of even scrolling is getting boring. Like it's a boredom that comes about that is just like rooted in distraction. And I posed that question too on the Nichful Thinking, I think TikTok, and and someone had commented and they were like, actually, let me see. Let me go to the video and see what they said. Yeah, so I made a video asking like what's the difference between resting and being lazy? Like how do you know that this is rest? You know, this is a little me time, or this is a little bit time for me to just kind of like, you know, do what I like whatever, like whatever. And then when do you like, all right, I'm being lazy? I'm distracting myself. Nope, nope, nope. This is not a good use of my time, if you will. What does that mean? When is it okay for you not to use the time? What does it mean not to use time? If we're breathing, right? Nichful thinking. Are we then just is time automatic? We're just using it, right? But then there's moments, okay, let me stay on track. So, okay. Her name is Doreen Chanel. They say, I think lazy is a mindset first. While resting, where is your mind? Are you being intentional or avoiding responsibility? And I really, 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 really love this because I felt like, huh, so are you avoiding something right now? Is this rest intentional or a distraction? And I was like, okay, thank you, friend. Like, help me, help you, help me, help we. Because yeah, I've been thinking a lot about time. And I made another video too about discipline and being disciplined about your routines and like the things that you said that you were gonna do. It started to like tickle my brain about time because how you view time and or how self-aware you are about the time that you're using coincides with your ability to then be disciplined for me anyway. Because for me, I'm like, I need the core of the thing to ring true, to like shake me by the shoulders. Like, it's not just like, oh, I'm just using this time. Da, 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 da. It's like, oh, so the Nichelle that you've been talking about this time next year, you just keep delaying her. Oh, huh, right? Perspective shift. Are you being lazy? No, I'm intentionally using this time and I'm not distracting myself or avoiding responsibilities or things that I said that I was going to do. Right? Right? So hold on to that little nugget and ask yourself throughout this week, throughout this month, throughout this winter, you being lazy or is this intentional rest time? You distracting yourself from your responsibilities? Are you avoiding something? Or is this like, just some mind, like whatever, like we could just chill for a little bit, like, like getting real about that because time is extremely stretchy. I definitely want to get back to the tortoise and the hare, or the hare and the tortoise and the hare. Yes. So if you don't know, it's essentially about this tortoise and this hare, aka a rabbit. It's a tortoise and a rabbit, a turtle and a rabbit, and they on a race, right? They racing. There's a whole story time about it, like the book version, whatever. In short, right? So the tortoise is moving mad slow. The tortoise is like moving dummy slow, like the race, the tweet, like they had already blew the whistle. The tortoise is moving dumb slow. The hare is like, oh, I'm out. Pew! The hare is running at 45 million miles per hour, moving dumb quick. Somewhere in the middle of the race, though, that tortoise ends up passing the hare. This story is really about like humility because the hare is like, oh, I got this in the bag. Like, I'm faster. Like, duh, like, I got this. Boom, the tortoise done took home the gold. Okay, first place, took home the gold. Why? Because the tortoise was chilling. The tortoise was like, just take one step at a time. There's no need to rush. It's like learning to fly or falling in love. Whereas the hare is like, I like to move it. I like to move it. We like to boom, move it. Physical. Okay. And then after a while, the hare was like, oh, I'm burnt out. I'm tired. I'm going to take a little nap. That tortoise ain't going to catch up. It's a tortoise. They ain't going to catch up. Tortoise was like, child, we on a race. I'ma just keep taking one step at a time. Right? It was breezy. They didn't have to stop. Just consistent. Boom, boom, boom. And that tortoise took home the gold. I think about that story because I'm like, as time is stretchy and there's different ways to speed up or slow down time, I know for a fact if I'm being as honest as I could possibly be right now, I know for a fact that I have some tortoise in me and I got some hare in me. I got tendencies where I'm like, it'll all fall into place. All I got to do is walk outside for a little bit. And then I have other moments where I'm like, I'm in that gym, lifting weights, going crazy. It's like there needs to be a balance because with that analogy or with that story, I just envision ourselves speeding up or slowing down time in that way. And I really crave the art And I believe I have it, but I crave like feeling really confident in my ability to have a baseline of tortoisism and be able to speed up like the hare when called and when needed. So, yeah. Yeah. This episode is really just about the thinking about time in a more human way, understanding the basic definitions, understanding what has been proven, what we see with our eyes. But like Audre Lorde says, all we have is the now. And with that, there is urgency around the time that you use. There's intentionality around the time that you use if you want it to materialize into something that you envision and really want to see. Let God be God. There's no really predicting the things that are on their way, but holding the knowing that you deserve something and holding the vision of what you want to achieve, whether it be eating different, whether it be a different lifestyle, whether it be getting closer to community. I mean, it's so many different things that we have as human beings because we are creating, we're setting goals, we're doing absolutely like sometimes the goal is to have a blank like day. Like some people's goal is to slow down. Some people's goal is to offboard, right? Like we say in other episodes, some people's goals are to offboard things that are clouding up their free time, their time that is supposed to be chilled out or free or a little bit more like, you know what I mean? As I've been able to offboard a lot of projects that used to take up a lot of my time, and as I'm like figuring out the different things that I want to onboard, we have to be mindful and think about how am I utilizing my time? What are my goals and aspirations, and what do I need to put into my time? Like, what do I need to give my time currency towards? And that concept of different types of currency, like, there's people who are really rich in time. It's very luxurious to be able to lounge and to lay and to be and to let the sun hit you and to let yourself say, I'm going to go on a vacation and just intake new fresh air. That's luxurious. There's time currency there. Obviously there's some monetary currency that comes with that as well, but just thinking about the concept of being productive with your time, how time is stretchy and can speed up or slow down depending on where your mindset is. Like that's something that is definitely worth thinking about. In Black History Month, I am like super, super honed in on my ancestors, my peers having this transition period where we're able to utilize our time in a different way for the first time in forever and really being conscious of like, what do we fill that time with? I surround myself and I consume content from people who are thought leaders, from people who are goal driven, from people who have presented themselves as folks that take themselves seriously but not too seriously, right? I resonate with that. Where I take myself seriously, I don't take myself seriously, right? There's a balance with that. And I like to consume that and I like to put that out there. And something just this topic of time being stretchy and how you're utilizing your time is just been ringing in my head. And so, yeah. Yeah. Look into look into activists and authors like Audre Lorde and look into what science says as well, because there's codes here on earth that are true. And then there's also like your intuition and discernment in deciding, am I avoiding something or am I utilizing my time wisely? I don't know if it's a cop out, but I have this thought process of like, we'll never be 100% perfect, right? And it's not even about perfectionism, but I'm like, is there a human being on earth who has figured out a way to feel really good about the time that they are using in all aspects of life? Like, or is there always going to be, I don't know. Well, you let me know what you thinking. All right. That's as far as I got with my Nichful Thinking for this pod episode. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. Follow me, your host at Ohshells on all social media, Ohshells. And if you want clips from the podcast episodes, some more visuals, you can go ahead and follow us at Nichful Thinking on TikTok and Instagram. YouTube, if you're watching when this video drops, Hi, Muffin. We're growing the YouTube channel at Ohshells, Ohshells. And yeah, per usual, let me know what you're thinking. Email us, nichfulthinking@gmail.com. As we're growing this community, I also foresee myself speaking more about what y'all are thinking. And so, yeah. All right. Love you. Mean it. Be well.